Hopefully you guys are doing well. We are back down at the property. And I have got to go into my airplane mode real quick. Always something, right? How do I do this? Put it there. Live. Hopefully it stayed with us. Can you guys hear me all right? I hope I'm not set to my truck right now. So we are back down at the property. GP, what's going on, Bubba? How do I do this? Every week it's the same old story of how to get my live streams on my tablet here. But it never seems to come up for the first try. There it is. Turn the sound down. All right, cool. Now I got you guys on the tablet here. Velcro, what's going on? Ground Pounder. Spec Star, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in months. Good to have you. Nice to have everybody here. Gonna have a busy one today, maybe. No, probably not. I do have a new toy for the woodyard here that we'll get into a little bit. It's she's an oldie but a goodie. Hopefully, we'll see how good she is at least. But I just got back. I had a meeting at the church after the service there, so we got all that done, and then I stopped back over to Lowe's and ended up getting a full truck of pallets again. So now I'm really looking hard on where I'm going to start the next bunk, and kind of regretting where I put the first one, to be honest. But that's the growing pains. I'm not sure really what's going on. But let me see what's going on here with the chat. I don't have my MacBook today, so I can't see new subscribers and whatnot. But maybe you can do it on one of these, but I just don't know how. Working, buddy. Been trying to find you on Discord to get up with you, but I ain't been on the I haven't been on the gaming computer probably in 3 months. Yeah, 3 months now. I don't know. I've got the MacBook at home. I got a new recliner, and when I settle in for the night, I basically slide into that recliner and everything's good. I've never really done that. I've always went home, did a little stuff with the kids or whatever we were doing, and then went up to the, whatever you want to call it, man cave type of deal, and got on Discord, see how you guys are doing, bull crap back and forth on there, and figure out if we're going to do anything or not. But no, I have adapted old man tendencies now. Once I slide into that recliner, I'm about done. So I don't know, just nothing really too exciting. Just the same old waste of time up in that man cave. So really haven't messed with it too much. But how have you been? I think the last time we talked was, would have to be January, February this year, eh? That was about when I stopped doing the live streams and whatnot on the RSD channel. I just got back on. But you've had freaking what, 3-4 Discords? I've got 2. that I don't even use. But I've got it for the guys that want to use them. That's basically what all it is. Uh, Eventually, I'll probably get back into it. Like I said, if Dan or Velcro, you get with one of them guys. You guys start up a little farm or something, and maybe a day a week or something like that. Once I get back into the groove, maybe I'll fall back into it. But no, it's just too much of a time waster for me right now. I've got bigger things going on. The starting my own business this year really changed my outlook on everything, and how just you lose so much time and time wasting things. Like, it's Sunday right now, but this is when I should be making a video, because I can work at my own pace and relax and not need to accomplish anything, and I can talk you through it and go through all the things. But when I'm limited on time, as far as splitting, or the weather's going to get bad, or I've had a bad start of the day or whatever it is, and then I try to pound out a video. I mean, Friday's video took me 4 hours to get the video clips up to the MacBook from the GoPros, and it was 8 hours worth of content, and I made a 4-minute video out of it because I was overwhelmed. I had so much content, not enough B-roll. There wasn't enough anything. It was just work. And some people enjoy that, but I at the same time, like, I was talking to my grandfather about it, because he watches the stuff, and he says, just don't talk in it. He says that's what loses me. He says, if I'm watching a video and I want to watch a video of a guy running processor or sawmilling, he says, I don't want you talking during it. I'm here to watch the machine. And I said, Grandpa, I said, well, I can do that. I said, I have no problem with that, but people want more than that. That's the thing. And I said, for the small amount of people that will watch somebody split wood instead of go out and split wood themselves, I said, I don't see the reality of it, because I don't sit there watching people split wood when I could be splitting wood myself. So I don't know. You got to figure out a way to spin it or something like that. I delete my server, Discord, my profile to get off of it, and then re-downloaded it all again and made a whole nother name. Yeah. Trying to start your own business too. You'll find a lot less time to do things. I'll tell you that. You have a mess of wood going there. To be honest with you, ground pounder, I don't enjoy the editing part. I don't at all. I don't at all. I don't know how to make it enjoyable. I don't enjoy sitting in front of the computer. I really don't. I've done it for years and years, and it became the normal, and that's the problem. Like I said, when I got in my motorcycle accident, there was nothing else I could do other than scratch my belly and rub my head. So that's what I did, and then it became normal to go to work, come home, get in front of the computer. And I hate that part. I absolutely hate it. And I don't have an easy format to follow for videos yet. So, like, I've started to watch certain people, like In the Woodyard, Logger Wade, guys that have established channels and have been doing it for years, and their videos flow. I've started with the amount of videos I've ever watched. I've never looked at them scientifically, how they're keeping the audience. And in my past videos, I've talked too much, where when the video starts and you say, hey guys, we're doing this today, we're doing that today, and you know, blue sky, blah, 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 and you just keep going on, you lose your audience. Your retention falls off. So you give a quick, hey, we got wood to split, or hey, I'm going to do this. That's not even really good. What you need to do is almost do a clickbait thing like, can we do 6 chords today? Watch and you'll see, you know, that type of thing. It holds the viewer's attention. So with my video content now, I've gotten away from talking because I don't talk very much in general, just in real life. And now when I'm working, I don't talk and I don't stop the video in the middle if I need to fuel up and then say, hey, you know, this is where we're at. Tomorrow I've got 2 deliveries going out here, and, you know, doing that, having the break in the content. I gotta shut this off. How do I do this? Off. My quality is too high, I think. 144p. Let me know if that cuts off. I hope. So that's kind of what I'm saying. I just need more content with a little bit of juiciness in the middle, if that makes any sense. I've been looking at a chainsaw and a wood miser and a grappler for the tractor. Yeah, without money, it's very hard, man. I started this year with a chainsaw and a saddle and spurs or spikes or gaffs or whatever you want to call it. And the first job I did, well, the first couple jobs I did paid for better gear. I went from an old leather belt, basically, with some old pole spikes, and I did my first couple jobs with that. Then I went to Gecko with a weaver belt, climbing on a shouldn't probably be saying this, but a running rope, basically the rope that you'd hang your clothesline on, but thicker. That's what I started with. Then I ended up going up to 7, getting into all the rope stuff. Now the stuff is sitting. I haven't messed with anything for tree related stuff. Last couple of jobs that I've had, I was able to get the tractor there and do a lot of pullovers and a lot more felling scenarios than having to climb, do a big top and then chunk down. I'm glad that I still have that in my arsenal of things that I can use and do, but my thoughts of climbing trees and all that stuff has kind of changed a little bit. I'm sure I'll have more jobs of doing it, but now the logging small parcels, small jobs with my farmy winch, my tractor and saws is what I'm going after. And then firewood, like I said, I'm fully insured for climbing, rigging, doing all that stuff. When it gets to the tractor logging stuff, there's some shade. There's some discoloration in my my insurance policy there. So I've got to kind of narrow down what I'm going to be doing this year, if that makes any sense. So it's all tree related, but I don't know. It's kind of a iffy thing. So don't do it, my friend. Well, you got to do it, man. I don't have to do it, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy making the content. I enjoy the small amount of comments that I get. The biggest thing that I enjoy is the feedback from the viewer. And I haven't crossed that threshold. I've got so many videos that don't have a comment in it, and I don't know if it's arrogance. I don't know if I'm just not leaving enough meat on the bone to get comments. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. And it could be the way that I edit. It could be a lot of things. I do have some videos that I have like 11 minutes watched out of the complete 20-minute video. So it's like 950 hours on a video, which is incredible. And the comments are blowing right up. But then I put up some more content the next following days, thinking, hey, I'm getting a base down, which I already do have a base. Basically, everybody in this channel here that's talking right now is my base. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I'm a little bit too hot and cold for people. And then by not having a video Saturday, Sunday, Monday, at least a relevant video with what we're doing right now is hurting. But like I had kind of said before, I'm trying to get all the old content off that other channel that is logging related or outdoors related onto this one, just to have it all kind of in one area, and leave the gaming stuff on the gaming stuff, because it never did anything over there. So I might be shooting myself in the foot by bringing that stuff over. So I don't know. I don't edit crap. Well, you don't have to edit crap, man. If I've got a lot of videos on here that I don't edit much. It depends on if you leave the camera running long. And with me, I have started to do that. Like before, what I would do is I'd take a quick video of me cutting. I'd shut it off when I got done and the tree fell. Shut it off. And then I'd go to the next tree. I'd turn it on. I'd cut the tree down. Turn it off. I would then, attach my my rigging. Turn on the camera, pull the tree in, drag the tree out and record it, drop it off at the landing, turn it off. If you do that, it's easier to edit. You got little chunks. But when you're looking to do time lapse or things like firewood, people aren't going to be all that impressed. If you go out, you run for a half hour or an hour, and you got a little stack of firewood. People want to see big amounts of firewood, or they want to see, well, it's hard. I'm talking like the people. I want to see, when I watch Out of the Woodyard, he's very good at the durations. He tries to get, say you got a concrete slab, and then 6 hours later, you got a cord, you got 2 cords, 3 cords, 5 cords, doesn't matter, but you see it grow. You see everything, so you know that you're watching time as it's changed and how much is being produced. So that's what I'm trying to kind of cover. And by me taking that GoPro, putting it on the end of the saw, and cutting for as long as the GoPro battery goes, 40 minutes, and then put it on the conveyor for 40 minutes, and then put it on the log table for 40 minutes, and then I can shorten that right down so you see all this boop, 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 and things are happening. I don't know. That's kind of the way my brain works, of how people want to see things. And if you wanted to watch an hour 40 minutes, I'm sure there's some sick individual out there that probably would, but I don't see that happening. So you got to try to captivate an audience with the content that you're making. And it sounds like, I've watched a lot of your stuff too, and you do segments. If you're up in a tree, you turn on your camera, you do what you're doing, and you're talking when you're doing it, or you got chatter going on with the groundy, and just things are happening. With the firewood side, I could talk to a stick, So I don't know. It's one of them deals, and I'll gain it. It's gonna take time, and hopefully people see it, and will either enjoy it or tell me in the comments to just go back to doing what I was doing before. It all depends on what the community and the comments and everything develops the channel into. I will keep doing what I'm doing and try to make it better on my side, but it's a new baby. You just got to keep doing what you feel is right, and watch it grow or watch it shrink, you know, like RSD did. I mean, back in 17, we were having live streams with 200 and something thousand people watching. You know, logging videos with 1 million views and this, that, and the other. And then I just got sick of it, so I stopped it. I just stopped. I took a year off, and then I came back, and I was captivated by the buddies I had on there, and everything was organic again as far as the mods and all that other stuff happening. But it never took off, and it was because my heart really wasn't in it. I was expected to put on a show when I wasn't happy with the entertainment, or I wasn't happy with what was going on. So, like I said, the whole long or short of what is going on here is I quit my job and started my own business. The long short end of it. And I could have had 2 weeks worth of me siding houses this year, and I probably should have if I really wanted to take you guys along the journey and whatnot. But I've done a lot of things that weren't tree work this year. I'm not going to incriminate myself on a lot of stuff just because whatever. But I've done a lot of things. I mean, building that bridge across, you know, has nothing to do with trees. It might be made of wood, but you know, I haven't turned down a job this year. I turned down one job just because it was the busiest time, and the person wanted me to get there within a certain amount of time before a certain date, before a certain thing happened, and I said there's no way for me to do it. So I did have to turn down that one, but that was really it. I mean, I was a man of service, and I'm going to try to do that the best I can, with no matter what it is. You know, I mean, if I was to have insurance on every job that I've done this year, I would never make enough to to cover the insurance. So as it is right now, it looks like I might be redoing a barn this year. I've got to do a whole lot of dirt work, and we're not going to get into all that yet, but hopefully I can take you guys on quite a few jobs this year. I'll tell you my prices, my services, that type of deal, and you can kind of get a knack for it. But when you try to be a jack of all trades, you turn into a master of none, if that's how the saying goes. And that's kind of what I've told these people. The little lady next door hired on a contractor years ago to site her house. He came in, sited half of it, got money up front, a huge chunk of change up front, bought most of the materials, and then left and never came back. So she's had a half-sited house forever. And I've sited one house my whole life. And I told her this spring, I said, hey, I get some days where I'm not doing tree jobs. I'll come in and, you know, I'll do my best. You know, I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a this, not a that, but I have done it before, and we'll get it done for you. And she paid me handsomely, and she is extremely happy with the work. So it's one of them deals. And I'm getting very long-winded already, so I apologize for that. But my videos about, you're just looking for me to come back with, and no, they don't. I've been looking at all 2024 Tiger Cat equipment. Till I can start logging in the swamp. Are you talking real life, or what are you talking? What's cracking? All about ready to go up in this water. Oh, could take her down. What's going on? Real life? You crazy son of a gun. You're going to go dead over your eyeballs. Unless you've already got stuff to... Phew. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would start talking to some loggers in your area, though. I tell you that right now, Spec Star. All my logs that I the lumber market's trash, bub. Lumber market's trash. Why did Bobby Goodson stop? Just bought a 2018 6.7 Power Stroke. That don't have a bow tie on the front of it. You have a Chevy or GMC? I forgot. GMC doesn't have a bow tie either, but it's the same thing, eh? I think one uses lock washers though. I think it's GMC. Buddy, I love you, Spec Star. I've got my little tractor with a farmy winch and a chainsaw. And I understand production. I've been on the side of production. And I'll tell you what the boss man told me. And we weren't big. We weren't a big outfit. We had the 610E. We had the why can't I remember, 660? I don't remember. The Timberjack. We had a Tiger Cat 234B loader, 3 trucks, fully staffed, Timber Pro buncher that caught fire more than, actually it just caught fire again, so don't look at Timber Pro for bunchers without a good insurance policy. And then all of a sudden we lost everyone, and it was John and myself. You had the boss man running loader, running skidder, running buncher, and me pulling trees. He put me in the loader for a little bit. That didn't work out because you need to be able to read wood, and I wasn't able to read wood at that time. I did a little bit of bunching with Benjamin, and then a little bit afterward. Buddy, it's a hard deal. It's a hard deal. I mean, you look at, I was considering, before I bought a firewood processor, I was looking at a used skidder, and a used skidder needed tires, needed main you're looking at the low end for a skidder, probably usable, maybe 40 grand. And maybe that needs work around here at least. Buncher, I'd say anywhere from 30 for absolute trash that's going to need undercarriage work. 30 to probably 100,000 used, very used market. Loader, about that same area. You might be able to find find an old mid-mount Apprentice on a old Mac or something like that. You're looking at $500,000 in equipment if you want to go the fully mechanized route. And then you probably double that in the parts and just to get everything going. And then for what? For $200 1,000 feet? You know, it's pretty sad when our white pine is worth less than a popple. I'll tell you that right now. That's why all my ash, every last bit of logs that I think I cut out front, I'm pretty sure is going into firewood. I don't know. It's a discouraging industry right now. I'll pray for you. I want nothing for the best for you, but if you could start cheap, and I mean cheap, I don't even know what you do. I would buy yourself a little tractor, get a brush hog, and start doing that. Buy a dump trailer, put $250 on the side of it, and let it go out for the weekends, you know, and then pick up people's trash with it. So it's such a bloated market right now. They're not paying. It's like my firewood, you know. If I want to sell this firewood that I have sitting here right now today, I'd have to be asking $60 a face cord. I'd be losing money. And that's what the market's telling me to do right now, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold strong. And if not, it'll turn into black dirt. And then it'll be worth more. No, woods is something in my heart. It's something I'm passionate for. I love the woods. I don't feel better anywhere else than when I'm out in the woods with a saw. But there's a lot of ways to make money with a saw other than what we do. You look at the people with the chainsaw carving. You look at what Outdoors with a Morgan is doing with fire starter. Bundles. My bundles this year. I have made more from bundle wood than I have from firewood. And I sold 8 cord this year. You know, people will pay for convenience when it's convenient. You've got to figure out what that is. If you find, like I have a gentleman up the road here. I'll give you this. Gentleman up the road here for choice spruce, 17-inch minimum, 1 foot chunks. He said that he just bought, I think it was 3 or 4 logs off a fella for $500 a piece. And what he does with that is he makes guitars, he makes violins, mandolins, he makes all this fancy stuff, right? But he cuts it, he planes it down, he puts whatever that sealer is on the stump end, seals both sides, and he stores it 20 years. 20 years that wood's sitting. And he's sitting on it. You think firewood has long wait time on return on investment? He's sitting on it. But then he sells that piece of wood that he might have paid you $80 for a foot chunk. And he could sell that for $1,500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Doesn't. It's just, you got to find the market. What market works for you? And really, we need to starve these sons of guns out. They're taking our wood, bringing it overseas. They're getting the cream of it, and then they're sending us back trash. It's the same thing with the scrapping industry. All the scrap that we are sending to China, they're melting down our garbage to put into our products to sell back to us. What is going on? I've got a heck of a rant going on here, boys. What's going on in Texas right now should be, everybody should be tuning in. I hope our boys stay in their ground. And it could change some things, but nonetheless, guys, we're make yourself right with the Lord. That's all I got to say about that. Nonetheless, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to go off on a rant with you, Spec Star. Just learn your markets, learn what your mills are paying. And learn that they're going to cut you in or punch you in the throat any chance they can, man. I love machines. I'm sorry, buddy. It's been a bit. Hi. Addition to the fleet. Somebody, oh, that's right. Somebody's got to take over Bobby Goodson's spot. Yeah. Yeah, look at that stuff, man. Logging's still downhill. Well, I know what you have. I just forgot if it had that proper bow tie or not on there. That GMC. No, if I don't do swamp, I'll just buy 3 pieces of equipment to pine log. Look at your prices. Look at your prices. That's the biggest thing. Tidewater equipment, got a 2016 for like 80K used. What? And then how many loads of logs is it going to take you to get that payment? How many gallons of fuel? I'm about 110,000 into everything with my tree biz, and that's all paid for since day one. But come little by little. Amen. Amen. Do not borrow. Do your best to not borrow money. Do your best. Tidewater equipment got a 2015 wheel fella buncher for 87 years. 2015, so that's yeah. That would be that'd be a D. The big frickin' concrete block. Yeah, I don't know. That's all up to you. I don't watch TV. You ain't gotta watch TV, buddy. Well, I'll tell you one thing right now, Mr. Specstar. A truck is a truck. If you live in the, it all depends, insurance rate. I know that for me to get, what made my decision was a load of logs, a load of firewood poles, 16 foot long, for John to take them, was $1,800 he was willing to do. $800 trucking. So I was looking at $1,000. I processed all them logs, put them in that pile. That pile right now is worth, I think it was $5,200. Then it's sitting here. It took me a little bit less than a week to do it. And it's going to take about a year to season. So it depends on which side you want to be on when it comes to the long game. Are you looking to buy timber? Are you looking to buy property? Are you looking to rent property? Are you looking to lease property? There's money out of your pocket there. There's going to be a huge amount of money out on trucking. Whether, I don't need to tell you. I think you understand. Yeah, good. And if they're a good logger and going to tell you right, get into another market. I'm telling you, bud, it is sickening. It's sickening. I look at, we got a Verizon tower going up the road here, and they were taking 28-inch pine straight as a beam down with excavators, and they chipped it all. And they're doing nothing with the chips. They're hauling the chips out, and it's probably going to rot in the compost piles. Yeah, absolutely. Some sign that's the thing, man. When you're a logger, you're at the mercy of paying stumpage. You're at the mercy of paying the forester. You're at the mercy of the forester telling you when you can work, when you can't work, and then Mother Nature telling you when you can work and when you can't work. And then they're going to hang you by your short hairs when you mess up next to a river. There's I chip everything and turns to dirt. I love it. Yep. And dirt pays. Dirt's a really good payer. You know? I don't know. I had a huge dream of getting myself I never even told you. So when John and I were by ourselves, when everybody left, when the fog settled, we'll say, whatever you want to call it, John and I sat in his truck, just like I'm talking to you right now. And he says, if I ever want to make money, he says, if I ever want Yeah, basically, if I ever want to make money again logging, he said I'd get myself a cable skidder, a chainsaw, and he says that's it. That's it. He says that's what I'm half tempted to do. Sell the processor, sell the loader, sell the skidders, buy a what is it? 604E. Six. Well, now it's some other vocabulary letters, but cable skidder. He wanted to get 3 to 6 372s and go that route. And with good ground and good wood, you can make an awful mess in a hurry. Here, my little tractor is not not the best thing in the world. The ground was decent. It held me well. The trees were lacking, but with the small tractor that I have, they were about right. And it took me a while to make a load. But my fuel prices at 5 gallons every 3-4 days, they weren't bad. $25, $30. Chains, bars, chains, saws. That's where you started getting into money. And had I not had tree work or other jobs in the process while I was doing the logging, I would have went belly up for sure. For sure. And then to think, if it took me that long with the firewood alone, because I had a load of firewood. Pretty positive on that at this point in time. I had a load of firewood there. I would have got $1,000. And how long did it take me to make that firewood? Could I have done it faster? Absolutely. Was I still in the learning zone because it was a completely new experience to me? Absolutely too. There's a lot with it. I busted the Farmy winch. I put the PTO shaft right through the main bearing, which spit the chain. Had all that go on. That put me down for 2 days because I went out, bought parts, and they were the wrong parts. And there's just a lot to it, man. A lot to it. They say if a millionaire goes logging. No, I'm not very good at these. The only millionaire that's ever went into the woods had $1 million before he started, or something sarcastic like that. If you were a millionaire when you started, you weren't a millionaire when it's. I don't know. I'm not good at the puns, but except what I and my guys burn, 25 a yard for compost. I don't know, man. Specstar, do your we all want to do it, man. We all want to do it. But do it the right way, if there is such a thing. Like I said, if you can find a specialty mill, like the gentleman up the road for me with the 18 to 20 inch or 17 to 20 inch spruce clear, and then he doesn't want knotty or bird's eye maple because he says once you cut it thin enough, the eyes actually pop out with bird eye. He wants curly maple. But yeah, if you can find that type of deal, you'll be doing really well. You'll be doing really well. I want to log so bad, and that's what I told Grant yesterday. I said, if I can make a go at this and actually start producing money from it, I want to be in the woods cutting. I want to be in the woods cutting. I don't want to skid no more. I don't want to process. I don't want to do the firewood. I want to go out and cut. That's what I love doing, is cutting trees. And I think I've got it figured out now where I can do what I love to do, just not at the rate I want to do it, if that makes any sense. You know, I'm in the woods every day. I can cut trees every day I want to, but I've got to process the firewood. I've got to go through all the rigmaroles of the rest of the business side of it. But someday, with time, maybe money, that type of deal, I can hire some people in, and they can do the processing and the rest of the stuff while I enjoy the stumpage. But it's also, what's my time worth? Is it worth my time to go in the woods, cut, skid it out, do that type of deal, and how long it takes me versus having a logger drop off a couple cords at the front gate and process up what he brings. So I've got to get all that figured out. But yeah, like Ground Pounder says, choose your dream. And that's not, I'm not trying to deter you from it. I want you to hopefully learn your markets a little bit and choose the right path for you. If swamp logging, which I would love swamp logging myself, I know that. I grew up with Bobby Goodson, but if swamp logging's what you want to chase, try to figure out how you can do it. Try to do it smart. That's all I'm trying to do, is help you. You know? I don't know. Small steps. That's my best. No, that's exactly right. Ground Pounder. That's exactly right. Just being real. It's about doing whatever the heck we want to do in this life. And that's what I have made a decision on years ago. I don't have a brand new house. My house was built in the 1800s. I don't have a brand new car. This pickup truck that I am in, is 2010. Been paid off for 6 years. It's got 109,000 miles on it. My wife's car is the same way. The only thing I owed money on was the side-by-side, the tractor, and my insurance now. Tractor's, I think, getting down there. I got to look at that this year. Hopefully get that just paid right off. That's the in-laws. I pay the in-laws every month for that. My insurance is what my insurance is, but that's what I pay every month, basically. The electricity to the house, obviously that type of thing. But I don't have any debt, and I don't owe a bank. So that was my way of doing what I wanted to do this year. I know what I need to make a month. Once I get that set, everything else goes into fuel for the loader, fuel for the processor, fuel for the, you know what I mean? And then I kind of figure out what that is. And then God bless my wife as well, because right now she is the money maker. And I never, ever wanted to say that. I always wanted to be the provider and making the most and this, that, and the other thing. Not this winter. That's what's kind of hit me the hardest right now is, like I told my dad, if I made $600, $700 last month, it's a lot. And that's including my eBay sales. So, I've got a good woman. The Lord Jesus has definitely been, I mean, I was in such a tight spot. 3 days ago, I put up my favorite 371 on eBay. I put it up, and one day it sold. So I was able to make all my payments from that saw being sold. And I've even got more money for padding as far as food and everything else. But this winter's been a big eye opener. I've always been big on spending money. I get the paycheck, I put it into saws, I put it into this, I put it into that. I've never let mold grow on any pennies I've ever had. So this has been a humbling winter. So just be ready for that too. It all depends on what line you plan on going into, but tree work in the wintertime, there's not much of it around here. Well, Spexstar, that's a whole different. I don't know about it either, man. It's kind of hard to show up. I mean, it's not really hard to show up with $80,000 cash to buy a piece of equipment, but will they allow it? And what happens if you get pulled over on the way? You know, I don't think it's legal to drive around with $7,000 cash anymore. They think you're doing drugs. But I went down when I bought that processor. I paid cash for it, 50 or 12. I think it was 12,900 or 13,900. I brought that down in cash, and the guy said, "You're one of the first." He says usually it's a check or something like that. It just, you don't have that anymore. And I'm not a big bank person. I don't trust any of that stuff anymore. The government can kiss the whitest part of my behind as far as I'm concerned. But no, if I wanted to go down and buy a new vehicle right now, I'd have to put money in the bank a little bit at a time and then do a check or something like that, because you can't go down and pay $40,000, $50,000 cash for nothing. And my wife stays home too, ground pounder. She has a medical job online, making excellent money. But yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom now too. But she just logs into the computer, does what she needs, and does the stuff around the house, gets back on the computer, does the stuff. You know, she's moving mountains herself. Is that what it is? Legally? So I was only $4,000 over. Only thing I can think of, if you got good credit. Well, I've got great credit. I can go down and buy just about anything. Well, I don't know how it works now, because usually they ask you about occupation and how much you make and this, that, and the other, and it's never very good when you first start a job. Usually they want to see. I don't know. Mine's pretty good though. I don't know how it is now. What, you've been doing it long enough they don't ask? Yeah. And that's saying a lot too. I mean, say you brought $9,000 down with you, and then you said, I'm gonna be down, or I'll be back 6 more trips or something. You know, I don't know if you can get away with it that way either. But I know, like my one of my uncles, older uncles, he's getting questioned, just not great. He's going down to the bank. He's not big on trusting everything going on in the world there. And he goes down and he takes out a couple $1,000, whatever the case may be, to put it somewhere else. And every single time they're asking him, "Sir, what are you doing with your money?" Or, "Sir, why are you taking this large amount out?" And he's like, "It's my money. It's none of your business." You know, why are the questions for me using up my money? So it's kind of a scary thing that It gets you when you're coming in going with the whole deal. As long as your score is good, though. Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you what my score is. I've really never checked, but I know I've had this truck, my wife's car, 2 side by sides, tractor, house, blah 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 blah. Everything's been paid off. I would imagine I'm in the 700 range. Never done anything to mess it up. No late fees, none of that stuff. So I don't know. I'm probably not who they're looking for anymore. I told him I was buying Snickers bars once. No, and I encourage anybody to get started in the woods. Just like I said, try to figure out specialty stuff if you can. Because like I said, the foresters don't work with you. They work for the mills. And really, like Logger Wade, he seems to have a bread and butter type of deal going on where he's the logger, he's the sawmill. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it besides gravy logging, because you know what you want. You're the sawmill. You bid on the timber goes to you. You know, I mean, you really can't get much better as far as that goes, in my eyes. But just understand, I mean, like I said, with logging, they basically get you when you're coming in, and they get you throughout the job. You're the one with the most stakes out there. You know, liability reasons, equipment, deadlines, weather. There's a lot. And maybe that's why I love it so much, because you can't sit down very long. It's you got to just go and do it. I want to do what Logger Wade did too. I think everybody wants to do the same thing, Bub. All of us. But you got to be, I don't know. Work small, get yourself big enough to do it, I guess. I don't know. It's a pipe dream for me as far as I'm concerned when it comes to it. I think I'm going to get close this year, to be honest, but it's going to be everything I'm going to be doing right now, small scale. It sounds like my grandfather, he's getting up there in age, but he's still a kid at heart, out in the woods every day, playing with a sawmill every day, that type of thing. So sounds like this year he wants to work with me on the sawmill, and I'll be filming that as well. So I'm going to be logging this piece here. We got a lot of softwood here, and maybe what I'll do is, instead of me paying stumpage, I'll have him pay stumpage. And I'll bring the logs to him, and we'll just process them up together, put it into his wood yard, and maybe get started like that, if that makes any sense. So it won't be going to a sawmill, but it will be going to a sawmill. So I don't know. I don't know. It takes time, and that's one part that kind of sucks. You know? There's a lot of truth to that. They say you gotta walk before you can run, right? But I think, and I don't know for sure, but I almost think the part that we struggle with the most at the beginning might be the most fun time. You know, I kind of went into the industry backwards. I did a lot of tree cutting. I done a lot of this, done a lot of that. I went into logging from a skidder, ended a skidder, and I don't want to go back to skidding. I enjoy all the aspects of what I do now. Between cutting the trees, cutting the limbs, bucking the logs down, skidding them out. I enjoy the process. And if down the road, if it comes to me running feller buncher, say, or skidder, or log loader, or processor, and me skipping out on the rest of them processes, it's kind of like stacking wood. And I don't mean to jump around, but it's probably an easier way to look at it. If you've got a log in front of you, you buck up the log 16, 16, 16, 18, whatever you do. You split the wood. What's the worst part there in your eyes? Stacking the wood, right? For most people, generally it's stacking. I refuse to stack. With the amount of face cords and cords that I'm producing right now, it would take me probably 4 to 6 times as long to stack it all. And after watching Out of the Woodyard, it actually sounds like it's counterproductive with the airflow concern, because a loose pile of wood, from what he says, is 25% more mass than a stacked amount. So what does that mean is in them voids that's making that pile bigger than if it was stacked? That means there's more airflow, right? If you're following me. So if I stack a face cord of wood out, it takes up 16 inches by 8 foot long, 4 foot tall. And then if I put a face cord in a pile, the pile would be bigger than the row, right? So that's kind of what I'm saying with the process. If I was only to be cutting the 16s, and then I'd get the next log and be cutting the 16s out of it, and the next log I'm not splitting and I'm not stacking, or I'm not putting it in a pile. Either way, when you're in that one area, you're missing out on the rest of it. So like I said, I might not enjoy the skidding the logs out, but I enjoy cutting them, I enjoy limbing them, I enjoy bucking them, I enjoy splitting them, and I enjoy dumping them into a pile. But I don't enjoy the skidding part. If I was to lose all the rest of them and go to that one part that I do like, it gets old, it gets stale. It's just a part of being a human, I think. You can love your job, but it's one of them deals. And I get really, really long-winded. I apologize. But it's easy when you guys are talking. It's easy to just talk here. Well, when the video goes up of the sawmill, I'll be taking notes, Ella. Well, I do have, I think I've got a couple videos on here this year. I did a logging job up the road. Should be back in August, I think. August or September on here, and you can kind of see the sawmill inside of it. I didn't really capture much of it because it was just a couple days worth, and I don't know much about sawmilling. I know how to take something standing, cut it down, limb it up, and that's about all I know. That was the other part of this job. Logging. There is a lot to learn. I loved it. It might not look good on video, but man, I talked to so many people. I have a forester up the road that came down, and he he started teaching me about curves and about just everything. And it is cool. It is cool how much you learn and need to know to be productive with this industry. I mean, to save out a 12-footer when you should have made it a 10-footer is a difference in the pocketbook. You know, you might be better off with a 10-footer than 416. It's really a gambling deal, and it's fun. It's addicting once you get into it. I believe the gum trees pay more than pine trees, but I don't know. I gotta look into that to see what the difference is. Well, they're all gonna be different here. I don't know if I have. Let me see if my photos. No, they didn't. Or did they? Hold on, stand by. No. I was gonna say I've actually got our prices. Okay. I was gonna say I've got all of our prices, but I don't have it uploaded to the iPad. That way I could actually go back and forth. Like some of the stuff we've got, like what was it, hard maple, soft maple? The prices are good for 1,000 board feet. But they're not good. They're good because they're, you know, $600-800 1,000 board foot, where pine is $300, $200, you know. But they're not good. I don't know how to really say that right, but yeah, they're good, but they're not good. Oh, that's why. Hey, Mr. Burt, how you doing? Stocking definitely sucks. Yes. Actually, that's we'll take a quick walk. Bert reminded me here. Oh, we'll take a quick walk. If I can reverse this. This is what I just picked up. And it's nothing too special, but it's special to me. You can see the yard here is just beautiful. But hopefully we'll be able to get this thing out tomorrow. So I got to get the little splitter down. But yeah, we got a conveyor, which I am extremely happy about. And I think I'm going to put the conveyor over here and try to get as much more out of this bin. For those of you that are just coming in or haven't seen, we actually lost all the snow off of this. We've been getting nothing but rain and whatnot. So that's the first chunk of wood that I've got in it. But like I said, I'd like to put the conveyor up here and try to cap all this off. And while we're here, might as well go over real quick. Take a quick walk-see-poo here. I don't know if oh, she's nasty though. We're actually losing. I don't know why my camera's on me now. You can see how much trash and everything else that's kind of fell out the bucket. But we've actually lost most of the snow with the rain and whatnot here, so kind of looking forward to this. I hope so, Bert. I hope so. Hasn't ran in 3 years. I put a little bit of gas in the carb. She started up first pull, so we will see. This is still here. This is what we got left from out front. Now I've got well, while we're in the means for walking, because sitting in that freaking stuffy old truck right now, I don't feel very good. But we'll go out and we'll take a quick look at what we got left for logs. And it's not much. This chunk here, I can actually get out of here, cut this bad end off. But my main thing for the conveyor is to do what you need to look at a wrapper for firewood. A what? How does stuff dry being wrapped? I've got a bundle maker. Well, I made a bundle maker. Take a quick walk out front here. I know the camera's probably shaky. Apologize for that. This is what we've got left out here. So these were logs ready for the mill, basically. These two piles here. This is what's left of the firewood. Some of it's good. I can process up with a processor, but most of it's got to get cut into 16 and split up with the other splitter. But this is what we've got left right here for logs. And some of these are pretty choice still. But the ones that got the that are starting to check on the end and stuff like that, we'll put them into firewood. You can see this guy here, all sorts of checking going on, so that'll be a good one. Most of the ash checking pretty good. That guy's hard maple. That's a good size stick though. Probably 22. But there wasn't much on this job for that, so like I said, most of it'll go through the processor, and then whatever doesn't, come on phone, whatever doesn't go through the processor will go into bite-sized pieces that the little firewood splitter will grab. So, but I think I'm gonna wrap her up there. I did just get a nice load. Oh, hey there. Nice load of pallets. Stacking, yeah. You need to look into the wrapper for firewood. I don't know what that is. I'll look at it, but I've seen the twisters and all that other stuff. I'm just not. How many bundles at $5-10 would it take me to buy one of them versus the extra half hour or so right now that it takes me to wrap up firewood? That's kind of my argument to it. But I'm not sold on any of it yet. And it all depends. YouTube is now paying me. Which, news to me, and you guys as well. We've got monetized last Monday night. And the money from YouTube, as dumb as it might sound, surprised me. Really, really surprised me. Yeah, the dump trailer too. I actually just found a N&N dump trailer, 12 by 6. The funniest thing, that's what Chris is running, and he just bought another one this week, or he was given another one this week. But one just popped up on my news feed on Marketplace, It's got the mesh sideboards on it. I wish I could show you guys. It's a galvanized. Anybody that knows the N&Ns, but it's 12 by 6, 12 foot long, 6 foot wide, which is nice for, like Chris had mentioned, because I was all into the wider the better, the longer the wider, you know. But backing into, where did my chew go? Backing into garages and small wood lots and all this other, narrow is nice. Narrow is nice. Long and narrow is decent. It's easy to back up. It'll fit into them tight spots. So I figured out. Did I figure out? Let me do some quick math here. Quick math. Where's the quick math button? Is there a button for quick math? No. Son of a gun. Why do I even have this thing if it doesn't have a calculator? Oh, there we go. Calculator. All right, let's take a guess on how many phase cords. And this truck will hold one phase cord. Calculator, yes. There we go. No, I gotta get the app? Are you kidding me? Anybody out there got a calculator? Son of a gun. This couldn't have won any. Nonetheless, it's $12,600 after taxes. I'm getting $100 a phase cord. How many loads? And my math, my brain has said no to math while I'm on the YouTube. Let me see. Let me do 60. Oh, you son of a gun. 60. Holy crap. So it's going to be around 129 trips with my truck. 129 times, whoa, divided by 3, 43 full cords will pay for that dump trailer. 43 full cords. So basically 2 of them wood bins I have in front of me. And by the way, I don't know why I said what I said last week. We're losing light here fast, aren't we? Apologies. Last week I said there's between 15 and 40 cords in that bin. There's not. There's not. I want to redact that whole deal. I said there's 16 full cords out front. That is one truckload of wood. One truckload of wood. All that wood has been processed through that processor and is in that bunk. So that bunk right now is holding 16 to 20 full cords. I said 40 because when I asked, the only comment that I received back, and the only comment that actually I would think would have known something about it, would be Bert, because he does it with Chris all the time. When it was half full, I thought he was meaning, yeah, half full, 3 pallets wide, this tall. It was 15 full cord. And I was like, son of a gun, you know. That means 30. And then I stacked it higher, so I was like, oh, that's 40 cord. There's no way. That's 16 to 20 full cords of firewood right there. That hit me kind of hard. Because that took some time. It takes you time, boys. Yeah. So that could be anywhere $4,200 sitting there to, I'd say, $6,000. and then to have 40, I would have to have another one paralleling it. And then back 2-3 weeks ago, I had said that my goal was 100 cords this year. I'm raising that to 200 cords. 200 cords drying. That's my goal. That is equivalent to $60,000. That would be an awesome deal. We'll see if the Eco Pro will do it. I don't have any doubts it won't. I have some thoughts that it's going to need some beefing up in some areas, and definitely some fixes done. But that's my goal. So that would be dump trailers are heavy, but well worth it. Big loads and dumps. Oh shoot, I hate that time crap. 1,300 loads. Yeah, Bert had it. That's a lot of freaking single load deliveries. Holy cow. Hoo-wee. How much fuel? There's only one thing about them dump trailers. They're heavy. Yes, dump trailers are heavy, but well worth it. Big loads and dumps. Yes, exactly. And like I said, if I have a steel dump trailer up the road. I wish there was a better light. I don't know if that's better or not. Nope. That's right in my eyes. I do have a steel dump trailer down the road. It needs an axle. The guy's gonna try to get that figured out, and I'm basically gonna trade him firewood to run his dump trailer for the first little bit. And we're gonna try that. But I'm gonna swing for the galvanized route. Chris convinced me of it, and after looking at prices of steel versus galvanized, it's not worth the argument. There is no argument to save $2,000 to get a steel dump trailer around here. If that's all they are, more. And actually, some of the steel trailers that I found that were 7x14, they were looking for $14,000 here for. So this $12,600, even if it goes to $14,000, that's what I'm working up to this year. Get the dump trailer, and then maybe another conveyor. I want to get a skeleton bucket, like a rock bucket for the tractor, to try to eliminate some of the trash going into the bins when I'm dumping it, as far as like bark and small stuff and this, that, and the other thing, kind of clean out a little bit. A grapple would be nice. And then maybe a vertical splitter, kind of like what is it, the Easton made Axis, and Wolf Ridge just came out with one too. VS17S or C or something like that. Either way, I'm going to wrap it up here because I got to go meet with a customer still. I pushed that off till after the live stream. Thank you guys. This was awesome. The back and forths. Bert, you stopping in, man. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Yeah. All right, guys. God bless y'all. Thank you all for the support. Bert, I'll be checking out more. I just watched you're fixing your boiler, but I'm not the best with the comments. I'm not gonna lie about it. But nonetheless, guys, God bless y'all. Thank you so much for the entertainment on both ways here, and we'll see you next time.